For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
News team, assemble!
Joining us live because if you want to know anything about the Outer Banks, Sam Walker's the dude to fill you in.
The sea was angry that day, my friends. Like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli.
Always appreciate talking to you.
Always good stuff with Sam Walker in the Outer Banks.
Now here's Les Nessman and the news.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to OBX Today Live, presented by Gallup Funeral Services on Facebook and YouTube. It's the OBX Today Facebook page, Sam Walker OBX Facebook page, and the Sam Walker OBX YouTube channel. Make sure you mash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell to know whenever we go live. We'll be doing that probably, it looks like, the next couple of days, not only here in our normal time slot around 8 o'clock every weekday morning, but we'll probably be doing it again for this next winter storm, which will be arriving tonight. And looks like it's going to be lasting into the day tomorrow and into Saturday morning. So let's get right to it with the latest from the National Weather Service, what they're telling us as far as what we will potentially see over the next couple of days. I'm going to start with the radar because this is our first system that we're dealing with. We've got a front that's going to be making its way across the East Coast over the next, 12 hours or so today and into tonight. It's going to start as rain for some areas. Some areas it's mixing with snow up in the D.C. area and out to the west and northwest up in Virginia. It's rain all the way down to the Gulf Coast right now. And this front is going to make its way in tonight. We'll see the precipitation probably not arrive until after dark as rain for just about all of us in northeastern North Carolina, and especially on the Outer Banks, it's going to be all rain when this starts late tonight. Then that's when things get kind of squirrely. This front is going to stall over top of us tomorrow, or sometime tonight and into tomorrow. Where it stalls is going to dictate how much wintry weather we see here in eastern North Carolina over the next day or so. I'm going to zoom this one down a little better here. Let's see if I can get it to work. That way we can see it on the screen better. Okay. Yeah, this is just their national picture from the National Weather Service, or from the NOAA's climate or the prediction center. So here's how things look this afternoon with the front draped over top of us. Then they're forecasting it to continue moving south, and how far south it stalls is going to dictate how much and how severe we're going to see ice, snow, sleet, freezing rain. The farther south it goes, the better chance we're going to see more cold air and more of a freezing rain and event to our south and just inland. Except it really is the Albemarle Sound. That seems to be the border of whether it's going to be ice or snow out of this system. It's a very complicated forecast. Now, along with the front, we're going to have waves of low pressure going to ride that front. That's what's going to be bringing us all the moisture. And that's what adds to the difficulty of this forecast. It's not just this frontal boundary stalling out. It's going to be, how far south it goes, and then the lows are going to ride up will dictate how much moisture we get. And also with that front and the cold air, and how much the upper atmosphere stays cold and the lower atmosphere finally gets cold. It's just a very complicated setup that we're dealing with. Here is the briefing that we've got from the National Weather Service this morning at 6 o'clock. And they are going to do at 9:30 today. We got a conference call with them that we'll be listening in on. The video from that will be put together and then made public a little bit later, and we'll have that for you at obxtoday.com. You can watch the one that was yesterday evening that kind of gives a better idea. That's when things were really starting to look like it's going to be a significant snowfall event for the northeastern North Carolina border counties from Currituck over to Edenton. That's where the focus, it seems like, of the heaviest snow is going to be, at least here in northeastern North Carolina. So here's the latest for the National Weather Service. They're talking about a significant 1 to 4 inches of snow and sleet, with the highest totals expected north of Highway 264. There could be some local heavy amounts of 6 inches along Highway 64. That's for everybody except Hatteras Island and Ocracoke Island. So even the northern beaches now falling in that 1 to 4 inch category, according to the update this morning. There is an extreme possibility of ice, freezing rain, with the highest ice accumulations down in Onslow, Jones, and Pamlico counties, southern Craven. So that's the New Bern. The areas from Washington south really look like they're going to be into the freezing rain. In fact, there is an ice storm warning down in Jacksonville. I'll show you that map here next. That is in effect. That's because they're going to get some pretty significant ice. We do have the possibility of rough seas and gale force wind gusts tonight through Saturday along the waters. With the winds shifting to the north with the front coming down, we're looking at probably a pretty decent chance of seeing some high sound side water levels down on southern Hatteras Island. We're going to get some rough surf. We're not looking at an overwash potential right now with the north winds. It looks like there'll be there might be a little bit of dune run up and a little bit of water coming over in the normal trouble spots, such as at the motels in Buxton and at S-turns. But we're not looking at a significant overwash event right now out of this storm. So here is the latest warnings and advisories for south of the Albemarle Sound. So this is in the Newport Morehead City map, Morehead City, the Weather Forecast Office area. We do have a winter weather advisory for Friday night through Saturday morning for the northern beaches. We have a winter storm warning for everything west of the Croatan Sound and Pamlico Sound. That goes into effect tonight. And we do have an ice storm warning down in parts of Pamlico County over to New Bern and down to Jacksonville, as well as over in Morehead City. That's where those things are starting. Now, here's how they're timing it. Looks like the precipitation will begin as rain, but then start making the transition from northwest to southeast overnight. So between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m., looks like from Columbia west is going to start seeing the wintry weather. And then from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., we'll see the potential for that wintry weather. But mostly it's going to be rain to start things out on the beach. Total ice accumulations, we talked about that a little bit ago. The worst of those are down south, down to our southwest, from Bayboro and New Bern on over to Jacksonville, Morehead City, down to Topsail Beach. The snowfall totals. Now, this is a total for the entire storm. This isn't to say that we're going to see 2 to 3 inches on the ground. We may see 2 to 3 inches mixing with rain, mixing with sleet. So it's not just a snow situation, it's a sleet situation as well. That's one reason why even though they're pretty confident about this, still a lot of questions. This map shows 2 to 3 inches of possible snow and sleet on the northern beaches. You get over to Columbia, you're talking about 4 to 6 inches. Roper, Williamston, that's what we're talking about along ice of US 64. And then the snowfall kind of drops off to the south. And it's going to stay cold. Temps are going to remain at or below freezing inland on Saturday. Get above that mark on Saturday on the beaches. And we're getting down into the 20s, even some teens off to the west Saturday night. So everything that falls is going to refreeze on Saturday night and cause travel headaches into Sunday morning. Then things really start to melt on Sunday afternoon. But that black ice potential comes back Sunday night with temperatures in the 20s for inland areas and right around freezing on the beach. Now, the max wind gust, looking at 40 to 45 on the beaches, 25 to 30. The big reason the ice storm warning has been issued down here is because with those wind gusts, and if you get the freezing rain, that's going to cause some tree problems and power line problems. But the strongest winds right now continue to be, as usual, on the beaches, especially Hatteras and Ocracoke Islands. And that's going to be out of the north. So that's where that potential for that Soundside water level rises comes into play. Let's see. This pretty much is the same as the briefing. Maybe a little better map. Yeah. So, we're looking at 2 to 3 possibly on the, Kitty Hawk and Manio, maybe an inch in Nag's Head as far as the snow and sleet is concerned for this system. Now, I'm going to switch over to the latest from the National Weather Service in Wakefield. That's what handles north of the Albemarle Sound. That's where they're thinking more of a significant snowfall event. This map shows what we're looking at here in northeastern North Carolina. So 3 to 4 inches, Windsor, Edenton, Hertford. You get over to Elizabeth City, right on the border of 4 inches, maybe possibly up to 6 inches as you get into Camden and in Currituck. Pretty significant line here. That's shifted a little bit. More snow now into more parts of Currituck County than we had last night. Maybe not quite that 6 to 8, which one map showed yesterday evening. That's kind of dropped off. Looks like it's going to be more legit 4, possibly 6 inches of snow for much of Currituck. Then you get down into lower Currituck County, south of Grandy, on down towards Powell's Point, Point Harbor. It's probably going to be less in that 2 to 3 inch range. Corolla, looking at the same thing, 4 to 6 up Corova and Knott's Island. You get down as you get farther south, the snow totals drop off to 2 to 3 inches. But, as we know, just a couple inches of snow is all it takes really to cause all the problems here for us in northeast North Carolina and on the Outer Banks. Our ice accumulation is not expected to be all that severe, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch, some freezing rain possible for this band here from, say, the state line at Corova over to Elizabeth City and Windsor in those areas. The southern parts of the Wakefield forecast area, right along the Albemarle Sound and just inland of the Albemarle Sound, you're looking at maybe 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulation. Much of that is expected to start for those areas tonight is what the latest forecast is calling for. So that's where we stand as far as the winter storm is right now. Still a forecast that is in pretty in a flux because there's a lot of difficulty in forecasting systems like this because it's a stalled frontal boundary. How far south that stalled frontal that boundary eventually gets and then stalls is going to dictate our precipitation types as we run through today, tonight, tomorrow. Really, tomorrow is when this thing is going to be at its worst into Saturday morning is tomorrow as far as the wintry weather, but we're definitely going to start seeing the precipitation. We're going to get something. How much we get really still is kind of up in the air. We'll have a better idea, as I told Jody over on Beach 104 about about an hour ago, 30 minutes ago, we were on with him. When will we know? We'll know when it's happening. Unfortunately, this is not going to be one of these events that it's cut and dried. They're going to nail it. There's a lot of question marks. A lot depends on what the atmosphere at different levels does as the night progresses and the day on Friday. So right now, our latest forecast for Nags Head's calling for rain likely tonight, then a rain and sleet tomorrow, or rain and sleet as we get towards sunrise. Rain and sleet through the day, just kind of a mixed bag there. Then all rain Friday night into Friday evening. Friday night, overnight, we change to a snow-sleet mix and then gets all snow towards daybreak on Saturday, then snow for the morning hours, and then eventually tapering off. It'll stay cloudy overnight. Winds will be picking up as well, especially tomorrow and into the night, Friday night and Saturday morning for Nags Head. Down on Buxton, it's all rain. It's all rain, all rain. No mention of any wintry precipitation for Hatteras and Ocracoke Islands. We head over to our forecast we look at from Elizabeth City. Rain likely this afternoon. Then rain, snow, freezing rain overnight, changing to all snow, mixing with freezing rain. It's going to go back and forth in the overnight hours. And then snow during the day on Friday with accumulations around 1 inch. And then Friday night, the snow picks up. That's when we're expecting the highest amounts of snowfall for the inland counties is Friday night. So that's where we talk about it's multiple systems here. It's a front. It's going to come through and bring us initial precipitation and some light precipitation behind it. Then how fast those lows track through up that front is going to dictate when the moisture picks up and decreases. So, this is not one of these situations where you've got a definite time period. It's going to be kind of ebbs and flows with the precipitation over on Friday night and into Saturday. So again, we get an update around 9:30 with a briefing for the National Weather Service. Not much going to change than what they sent us with the text briefing, the graphics briefing, which we've got all those graphics up at obxtoday.com right now. Not a lot's going to change there. We'll see the update this afternoon around 4 o'clock, which, of course, we'll have posted for you at obxtoday.com. We may go live with that conference call this afternoon. Depends on how schedules work out today. And then, of course, we'll do the live thing tomorrow with the updates throughout the day. It's OBX Today Live, presented by Gallup Funeral Services on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sam Walker. Stick around. We got more coming up.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
Our pet of the week for this week is Philip, aka Sir Philip. Philip was surrendered to us at no fault of his own. This handsome gentleman is just a bowling ball of love. Philip is a bulldog mix and around 1.5 years old. He isn't too into toys, but he loves affection and being with people. We think he can go to a home with another dog, but a dog meet is required. No cats for this big guy. To adopt Philip or foster one of our other animals, you can come visit us Monday through Saturday at our shelter located in Manio. The SPCA is now waiving all senior animals adoption fees thanks to the Donna Hannah Walker Fund. For more information, visit our website at www.obxspca.org or visit our OBX SPCA Facebook page.
Back here on OBX Day Live on Facebook and YouTube, I'm Sam Walker. Yesterday morning, we got a little exciting news. A lot of folks always excited to see these guys. That's Snowy Owl and Kitty Hawk yesterday. Friend Connie Marcy was staying at her family's beach house around milepost 4, and Kitty Hawk yesterday morning, it came out, and sure enough, they spotted a snowy owl. Now, the cool thing about this guy or gal is where they were sitting. They're sitting on the top of a equipment rack on the back of somebody's pickup truck on her next door neighbor's house. Now, after the snowy owl was spotted there, you can see it was just after sunrise, so around 7:15 or so. A little later on in the morning, we had some reports that he was down, or snowy owl was down at Avalon Pier. Since then, we've seen comments on Facebook about this owl being around some other parts of the beach earlier and later in the day. No word on any spottings today, but this isn't unusual, or has not been unusual the last couple of winters. As our buddy Peter Vankevich at the Ocracoke Observer wrote, it's the rarest of feathered visitors to the Outer Banks. And for a second straight January, another one has returned. Snowy owl, far out of its normal northern range, was spotted in Kitty Hawk yesterday. Snowy owls generally live in the far north, near the North Pole. They winter in southern Canada and the northern U.S. And about every 4 years, they travel south, well outside their normal range, in a phenomenon called eruption, according to U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Now, for reasons not understood, snowy owls have been erupting more often in recent years. In fact, a few spent several winters on Ocracoke, were spotted around Cape Hatteras between 2014 and 2017. Then again, last year, there were multiple well-documented sightings from Pea Island National Wildlife Refuge to Ocracoke to Cape Lookout National Seashore, all the way into March. Now, since their normal range is far north, there are fewer people living nearby. The snowy owl isn't really used to seeing us, but humans flock for a rare sighting of the beautiful white bird when one's around. But give it its distance and respect, okay? But with this latest sighting, we expect there will likely be some more cool photos and videos in the coming weeks here on the Outer Banks. To learn more about snowy owls and see these pictures, you can go to obxtoday.com. We got information yesterday from the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission. There was confirmation of a wild northern shoveler duck that was harvested by a hunter in Hyde County and has tested positive for what's known as avian influenza, HPAI. It's prompted biologists at the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission to remind hunters to follow best practices when handling waterfowl after harvest. This duck was taken by a hunter, by shooting. Wasn't a duck that was found dead. It was shot. And there's a lot of hunters that are participating in volunteer programs with the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission for science, and they submit the ducks and other wild birds that they kill to be tested and studied for various things. One of those being this avian influenza, the bird flu, as it's been commonly called. There was another wild duck confirmed in South Carolina last week, and there's been that makes 3 findings of this HPA1. The first time since 2016 that this type of bird flu has been found in wild birds in the United States. There was another sample collected in North Carolina back in December as well. So it's the third here in the Southeast. Agriculture Commissioner Steve Troxler points out with these 3 positive samples, tells us that high-path avian influenza is currently present in the American Atlantic migratory flyway. While this virus is not a food safety issue, anyone with commercial or backyard flocks of poultry need to implement strict biosecurity measures. That includes keeping your flock inside. So whether you're a hunter, going out duck hunting here in the last 2 weeks of the season, or if you do have backyard chickens, you want to take precautions as necessary. We got all the details at obxtoday.com about how to stay safe and be careful with this possibility of this avian flu, because it can cause real problems in the duck and geese population, but also in chicken populations. Turning of duck. The town of Duck officials have learned late last week that the Outer Banks town has been selected for a $1.85 million grant for a proposed living shoreline in North Carolina 12 resiliency project. The funding is through the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities program through FEMA. Nearly 24 have been selected locations for this program. They just got the information Thursday suggesting the town's official brick grant from FEMA will likely not occur until March. This will allow the town to get the go-ahead. It can move forward with plans to elevate a section of Highway 12 that's flood-prone. And the full details on the project we've got for you at obxtoday.com. Actually, you know what? It's right by the Sunset Grill area. That's where they are going to, looks like this, where this project's going to take place. I can show you exactly where that is right here. There's a picture for you. There's the water tower in Duck, and then there's Highway 12 running along Currituck Sound. Here's Sunset Grill. And this area here, just north of Barrier Island Station, that's what's being looked at. This area right in front of the Barrier Island Station entrance. That's what is going to be the project area for this living shoreline that Duck has won a grant for from FEMA. You want to read about it, courtesy of our friends at Coastal Review Online, you can do so right now on the H2O page at obxtoday.com. New funds have been created at the Outer Banks Community Foundation to support local charities that help residents on their journeys to better health. The Hunting Family Fund for Health and Wellness was recently established by Rich and Cindy Hunting to support projects and organizations to promote health and wellness for people on the Outer Banks, with preference given to organizations or projects that serve the underinsured or uninsured, or that bring new health and wellness programs to the community. You can learn more about this on the Neighbor to Neighbor Help Zone at obxtoday.com. And finally, we got word just a short time ago, about an hour ago, that this young lady, Zara Rutherford, has completed her journey around the world. Her goal to become the youngest woman to ever fly solo around the planet. Made a stop at First Flight Airstrip in Kildare Hills back in the summer. She kind of got stuck out in Russia because of the weather problems out with trying to fly in winter. And it's been a long journey. She finally made it back to Belgium this morning, about an hour and a half ago, and has completed her round-the-world journey to become the youngest woman to ever fly solo around the world. There's been video. They've got live video that's been running for the last hour over on FlyZolo, FLYZOLO. That's through flyzolo.com, but also on their Facebook page. They've been with the video. Been trying to get a look to see if their landing video is posted. It hasn't yet, because the live video that's up right now is just of her being crowded by the media that's on scene there in Belgium, talking with her. But Zara Rutherford, you might have met her. She came, like I said, we had a couple people that went out there and saw her out at First Flight Airstrip when she made her stop here on the Outer Banks. And congratulations to her. She has completed becoming the first woman to fly solo, the youngest woman to fly solo around the world. Looks like they're actually going to have a little press conference coming up with her. It's not going on. Yeah, that's family members. But we're going to pull some of the video from this, have it up at obxtoday.com later on today. All right, we'll take a break. Come back here on OBX Today Live on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you mash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to know whenever we go live. We'll be right back.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today, and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
Our pet of the week for this week.
The American Red Cross blood supply is at historically low levels this winter, and we're facing a dangerous situation across the country. Without the blood they need, hospitals may be forced to make tough decisions about patient care. Donors are needed now to ensure blood is available for everyone who needs it when they need it. The good news is, you can help. Make an appointment to give now. Visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. Patients are counting on you.
Back on OBX Today Live here on Facebook and YouTube. Quick look at sports. High school basketball tonight. Stuff's getting moved around from Friday to tonight to get the games in. First Light travels to Northeastern. They're going to start the varsity at 5 o'clock and get those games in. Edenton is at Manio. Camden at Pascal Tank. Ridgecroft is at Pungo Christian. Got a feeling some other games are going to get rescheduled from Friday to tonight. So check the schedules. Max Preps, they okay updating. I want to check with the school that you're looking for to see if they're going to make some changes to their schedule tonight. I do know that the Northeastern Coastal Conference individual wrestling tournament has been canceled. It was supposed to take place Saturday, but that has been canceled because of the winter storm. Some other things have been moved around. Swimming has also been moved around, try to get things in before the storm gets here tomorrow. College basketball last night, Virginia Tech beat NC State 62-59. Wake Forest with a nice win on the road at Georgia Tech, 80-64. So Wake the only Big 14 to win this week. Hey, shout out. They're actually pretty decent this year. They're going to get in the NCAA tournament. It looks like it's them and Duke, and that's it. So, all right, OBX Today Weather Center forecast. Of course, that's what we've been talking about all day. It's going to be a mess. We'll start with rain tonight. We'll start with mostly cloudy skies today on the beaches, high 54. It's going to be breezy. Winds will shift to the north at 15 to 20, gusts to 30 this afternoon as the front comes through. Rain likely tonight. A chance of rain and sleet in the early morning hours on the beaches at a low 35. It'll be breezy. North winds 25 to 30 miles an hour. Friday, rain and sleet becoming all rain in the afternoon with a high 38. Then rain in the evening Friday night, changing back to snow and sleet. And all snow overnight with low 33 and windy. Snow for the morning hours on Saturday and a high 36. And sunny and 42 on Sunday. That is for the forecast for Nags Head. Down in Buxton, it's going to be all rain and wind. The rain will start this afternoon, more likely picking up tonight. Then through the day Friday and into Saturday morning. But the winds will be out of the north at 20 to 30 with gusts to 40 at times on Hatteras Island. For Elizabeth City, it's going to be forecast looks like this. We're talking about rain this afternoon, most to 15, gusts to 20. Then tonight, rain, snow, and freezing rain before 2 o'clock, becoming snow between 2 and 4, then mixing with freezing rain again between 4 and sunrise tonight. 27 for a low. And you're wondering, it's low, it's going to be that low. Problem is we're going to see the layers in the atmosphere are going to be at different temperatures. So that's one reason why all the freezing rain talk is mixed in here, and sleet. Friday in Elizabeth City, snow and 31 with north winds 15 to 20, gusts to 30. Snow Friday night. That's when our heaviest amounts of snowfall are expected for Elizabeth City and areas around there. Elizabeth City, Hertford, Edenton, Camden. You're looking at 2 to 4 inches of snow possible Friday night. Then Saturday, the snow tapering off by noon. It's going to be cloudy and still windy. Get up to 38, so we might get a little melting. For Currituck, say Moyock on up. Same kind of forecast as what we're seeing in Elizabeth City with 3 to 5 inches of snow possible in northern Currituck County Friday night. So it's a mess of a forecast. It's a complicated forecast. We're going to keep you up to date with the latest here at obxtoday.com. We do have that briefing coming up at 9:30 for the National Weather Service. Not really expecting anything new out of that as far as what we have already got up for you at obxtoday.com. But they'll just give us more of a verbal explanation. We'll have the video from that coming up for you as well. So that is where we stand right now with our winter storm. That's where we stand with all our news, sports, and weather for this Thursday morning. I'm Sam Walker. Glad you joined us we'll let you know, or we will have some other videos coming up that we'll be posting up here, doing some live videos probably during the storm tomorrow and into the day Saturday. We'll definitely be with you tomorrow morning at 8 here on Facebook Live and YouTube. So make sure you mash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell to know whenever we go live, both on Facebook and YouTube. You can do that. It's all presented by Gallup Funeral Services. Thanks for joining me on OBX Today Live. Latest at obxtoday.com. We'll keep you up to date. Have yourself a great Thursday, everybody.